What is your IP address? How to find your IP address. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to find your internal private IP address, and then 3 ways to find your external public IP address. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and start with your external public IP address. So the easiest way to find that one is just to go on google.com, okay, and type in IP. Press enter. There it is. There's your public IP address. And mine's 7112.202.51. Alright, that's way number 1 to find your external IP address. Alright, so let's just do a second way. Something easy to remember. If you don't remember that for whatever reason, that's very easy to remember. You can just go to any browser and type in www. You don't have to put that in, but I'm just putting it in. But basically, what is my IP.com? So, I mean, basically, you just type in whatismyip.com. Bam. And there you go. You've got your IP address. That's way number 2 to get your external public IP address. So let's shift gears just for a second and let's figure out how perhaps you can get your private internal IP address. So go down, depending on what version of Windows you're using, there's different ways to get here, but I'm using Windows 8.1, so down here I'm going to go right click this little icon in the bottom left corner, go to run. If you're using XP or 7 or something, you can go to a little start button and then go to run and type in C as in cat, M as in mountain, D as in dog. CMD, it stands for command. Okay, and press enter. It's going to bring up this black box. If that's kind of hard for you or you want an easier way, press just the Windows key on your keyboard, okay, and type in the same thing, CMD. Press enter. It's going to bring up the same exact thing. From that point, you want to type in IP config. Okay, press enter on that, and you want to look for Ethernet adapter. Once you find that, look for IPv4 address, and that's going to be your internal address, your private internal local area network IP address. And mine's 192.168.1.183. So they're generally always going to start with 192.168. If you see those two numbers together, you know you're in the right place. All right. So that is method number 1 to find your internal IP address. How about a different method entirely? You don't even have to type anything in, and this is all clicking. There's several ways to get to this location, just like there is for pretty much everything in Windows. But go down here to your little computer network icon, right click it, and go to Network and Sharing Center. And you can find the same thing in the control panel, and you could even type in push the Windows key and type in Network and Sharing Center, and it's right there. But let's just go back to down here. To me is easier. Right click that, open Network and Sharing Center. In the top left corner you'll see Change Adapter Settings. Click that. Up here you want to click on whichever adapter you are using. If you're using, if you've got a plug, an Ethernet plug going into your desktop, it's going to be this. It's going to be this exact looking thing. It's going to be Ethernet. If you're using a laptop, it's going to be a Wi-Fi adapter. But in my case, I'm using a desktop, so once you find the right one, you want to right click it, go down to the second option, which is status. When you click that, it's going to bring up a box, and you want to find something called details. Click on details, and there you have it. You want to look down here, and you will see IPv4 address. I was looking down here, sorry, at the wrong thing, but you'll see it up here. And it's 192.168.1.183. So that's 2 ways for each of them. And I'm going to get one more way, but before I do so, I'm going to read a couple paragraphs for anyone who doesn't really understand what the 2 different IP addresses mean, right? Uh, so, public versus private IP addresses. IP addresses can be either public or private. Public means an IP address can be reached from the internet, while private means it cannot be reached from the internet. Okay? For example, in a typical home network, a router has a public IP address on the internet. The computers, smartphones, game consoles, etc. Behind the router all have unique private IP addresses on the home network. The router acts as an intermediary, forwarding traffic to the local IP addresses that request it. From an outside perspective, all devices on the home network are communicating from the internet with a single public IP address. Assuming you're behind a router performing network address translation, that's long for NAT, but don't worry about what that means. So let's start that sentence again. Assuming you're behind a router, you have two IP addresses that matter. Your computer's IP address is likely a private IP address, probably starting with 192.168, like I mentioned before. And that is a range of IP addresses specially allocated to private networks. You also likely have a public IP address, which is used when communicating with other computers over the internet. Okay? Now that still may be a little bit cryptic to you if this is kind of new stuff to you. So I just encourage you to comment. Ask me questions about it. I'll be happy to explain that further to the best of my abilities, and perhaps other people in the comments can help as well. So let's move on and find another way or two to find your internal and your external IP addresses. All right. Here's another way to find your internal private IP address, which is going to be 192.168. Whatever. There's something in Windows which some people don't know is there. It's called PowerShell. It's just kind of like a beefed up version of the command prompt, of the command box, of the command shell. And you can get there the exact same way you got to the black box, which is CMD. You can go down here, right click this little deal, and go to run and type in PowerShell. It's going to bring that up. Or you can hit the Windows key, type in PowerShell. It's going to bring that up, and so on. So that's at least two ways to get in there. Once you're in there, type in GIP. So it's kind of like get IP, for example, if that's something that'd be easy for you to remember. Push enter on that. You wait a second, and bam, it pops up. It may even be easier for you to use that because it's kind of on a blue background instead of a black background, etc. But you see right here, it says IPv4 address 192.168.1.183. So that's the third method of obtaining your internal private IP address. All right, and as I promised, there's going to be a third way to get your external public IP address, and it's not going to be putting in a third a website because there are thousands of those. Actually, you can use your command shell, your command prompt, and put in a specific command that is going to use a DNS request, basically, instead of HTTP, to pull out your public IP address using Windows only, not having to get in not having to get into a web browser. You may even be able to impress your friends or something with this. But basically, you just want to go down here, right-click this, go to Run, and type in CMD. Again, you can hit the Windows key, type in CMD. It doesn't matter how you get there. All right, and this is going to be a line. It's easier than it looks. Okay, but I'm just going to type it out, tell you what I'm typing, and I will put this line in the description. The first line in the description will be this command if you want to use it. Okay, so you want to type in nslookup space myip.opendns.com space resolver1.opendns.com. That's it. and that's going to query a DNS server, and it's going to pull out your IP address, your public IP address, the one that is communicating over the internet to other computers, to everything over the internet. It's the one outside of your router. It's the one coming in through your cable modem, through your DSL modem, whatever your device you happen to use. I mean, even if you have your phone used or MiFi, it really doesn't matter. You're going to have one of these public IP addresses, and you see right there at 7112.202.51. If it's a little small, I apologize, but you see right there it's public there, and it pops up right there. So that's 6 ways to get your IP address, 3 ways to get your internal, 3 ways to get your external IP address. I hope that helps you guys out. And if you have any questions whatsoever regarding this, please don't hesitate to leave comments, and if you have any questions, and I will try my best to answer them to the best of my abilities and my time. And this is what I do. I work in IT. I'm a network and systems administrator. I design systems, etc. Blah 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 blah. Boring, right? But I'll try to help with any questions, or if you get snagged up in some of this and you have troubles with it, I will definitely help with that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.